Let's start this live session. Before we start, let me tell you what I will speak about. So the first thing is the anniversary of the online courses. We started 1 year ago and it's been so successful and so many people are asking for more courses. I will explain more about that soon. The second thing I will talk about is the advice of today. You know, summer is coming soon. And I know that many people will travel to festivals, you will dance a lot this summer, you know. And I want to give you some advices that you can think about until your next social dance, so you're aware of that specific technique. But before we go there, let me talk about I have some notes here so I don't forget. It was 1 year ago since we started the online courses. And the reason why I started them was that I've been until now traveling to 47 countries around the world, sharing my workshops. But I understood that I cannot be everywhere every time. And I will start to travel less. I will still travel, but not as much as before. So the only solution was to be there, give my classes for people without actually being there physically. So the idea of online courses grew. And since we started, we sold 497 courses all over the world. We have sold to 68 countries since. So we love to see that people find these courses very helpful in their dance journey and experience. And we have a 60-day refund, of course. So if you're not happy with the courses for some reason, within 60 days, you have all your money back. So the coming weekend is a celebration of the 1 year anniversary. So you get 20% discount on all courses. We have beginner improver, intermediate, and advanced. So check them out, and we will also have more discounts if you buy them in a package. Check roniesaleh.com in the link below and find it out yourself. That's what happened the previous year. Our plans for the future. The next course for the future will be an instructor's course with certification. So we want to give instructors out there an awareness on how you can be attractive in your teaching role, like how you get booked. I'm booked two years ahead, almost every weekend. What is the secret behind that? I will share many things in this course, how you communicate with your students and much more, okay? So that's the plan for the next course in the future. Now, let's talk about the advice of the day, of today, today. What I see many times is that people, when they dance, they kind of get stuck in a pattern of dancing the steps separately from each other. So there is no connection with the first step to the second step to the third step to the fourth step and so on. So the steps are divided, right? Everything happens as a single island, you know, or as a single unit. I want you to change that mindset when you dance, and instead of seeing it as individual moves and individual steps, I want you to start moving with a mindset of an energy flow rather than separated steps. So I want the first step to melt into the second step as if it was one single move. And I want the second step to melt into the third step as the whole thing was a single energy flow. So instead of seeing it as separated steps, I want you to kind of melt the steps together as a chain of movements compared to separated movements. Why is this technique so important? Well, because when you look at beginners, for example, you can see in Kizomba Fusion, Urban Kids, you can look at salsa, you can look at bachata, you can basically see this technique in any dance. What beginners has in common is mostly the thing that they divide the steps. So let me demonstrate for you what I mean. I hope you can see me. Let's see. There you can see me, right? I can't move here because then I disappear. And I can't move here because then I disappear. So I try to stay here somewhere. So, beginners, when they dance, they tend to dance like this. So every step is kind of separated from the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4. So you see, it's a hacking. Their wave pattern when they dance is kind of a Same with salsa, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That's the thing you see in beginners. Bachata. 1, 2, 3, tap. 5, 6, 7, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 5, 6, 7, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 5, 6. So you see that whatever dance I talk about, you see the same pattern of divided steps. What I want you to shift your mind in is to, as soon as you've learned the step, try to make it as an energy flow where all the steps are combined. So take Kizomba for example, right? So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you cannot see that the steps are divided, right? So here you see that when I'm doing things, you see more of a energy flow there, right? You see here? I'm turning 1, ba, ba, ba. There's a flow. Ba, 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 ba. Right? Bachata, right? Watch. 1, 2, 3, tap. Kiki, ka, ba, 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 ba. Tiki, da, da, da. Tiki, ba, ba, ba. Ah, you ga, ba, ba, kiki, da, da, da. You go, ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, da, 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 ya. Right? Salsa. So, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Dum da, dum da, da da. Dum da, dum da, ga 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 dum da, dum da da. Bam 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 bam. So you see the flow, right? The flow comes from the one mindset of trying to combine the steps in a wavy, not separated movement kind of thing, right? And to help this, to make it even more flowy, I'm very aware of how I put down my feet on the ground and on the floor. I'm treating the floor with so much respect. Why is that? Because dependent on how I put down my feet, the vibration from how I put down my feet will transport in my body. So take Kizomba for example. If I'm mistreating the floor, I'm lifting my feet very high. So which makes the whole body shake with every step I take, right? So instead, when I put down my feet, I'm very aware on my ankles. My ankles are very, not tense, but very aware. So my ankle awareness helps me to put down my feet very consciously. You see this? Not that I should glide and be scared of putting down my feet, but I'm feeling that my ankles are very active in how I put down my feet on the floor. So I'm kind of massaging the floor, right? So be aware how you walk. That will help the energy flow of the movements, the chain of movements compared to the separated steps. There was something else. Yeah. So how you put down your feet on the floor will affect the flow of your movements. Then of course in every dance I mentioned in Foxtrot 2, which I teach, Fox Kids, there are some moments where you consciously want to make a step more boom, more ba, firm, ba, 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 like there are some moments where you want to emphasize things, and then it's fine to go out of your fundamental pattern of flow, right? But every advice I give you is meant for you to see as your base, what you do most of the time in your dance. Then of course, like 20% of your dance or 30% of your dance, you might want to go outside that way of your basic movements or steps, right? So maybe I'm flow, energy chain, but then I'm doing ba, 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 right? Consciously firming up and hitting the floor to emphasize things. But if my whole dance consists of this, treating the floor, mistreating the floor, then your base is very shaky, okay? Usually I put down my feet with the front part first, like with this part first. So when I walk, that's the first thing I put down. You see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, 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 right? There are some situations where I put down my heels first. For example, in spins, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you know, so in some certain moves like 1, bam, 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 ba, ba, da, I put down my feet in 2 different ways. So the most of the ways with my front part first, then making my heel slowly hit the floor. But in some occasions my heel starts first and making the front part smooth and on the floor, very, very controlled as well. But not as often as I put down my front part of foot. And I kind of asked myself the other day, I was like, why am I doing this? You know, like, why am I doing these live videos? Why am I doing online courses? Why do I have a motivation to share? And my answer was pretty simple. When you experience joy, when you experience something that lifts up your day or a certain experience, the first thing we human beings do is that we want to share that experience, right? If you watched a very nice YouTube video or a cinema video, the first thing you will do is that you will call a friend or your family member or someone close where you say, you need to watch this, it was so good. It's the same thing for me. Like, whenever I understand that something helps me, in this case, a dance advice, like a dance technique, the first thing I want to do is to share it to everyone, right? So that motivates me because I see how people's dance experiences improves. So since I gave the online courses, the intermediate class, the intermediate course with Anna, the beginner improver course with Ona, and the advanced course with Michaela. Since I gave these courses with these amazing followers, the appreciation I get, after the course, we ask you for feedback, like what we can improve and what they liked about the course. And there's so many positive comments about how their dance experiences changed for the good, and that they are waiting for the next course. So most people who bought one course mostly bought all the rest after. So we're very happy. I'm very, very, very happy that my motivation of sharing my knowledge is appreciated and helps. So thank you everyone. This weekend at roniesaleh.com you have a 20% discount off on any course or any package deal, because we've done this for 1 year now and we've just started. Like, I'm imagining in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years that roniesaleh.com will be like a platform of 50 courses in Fox Kiss, in Kizomba Fusion, in Bachata Fusion, where I talk about musicality and all these kind of dance styles, where I talk about, the secrets behind leading and following and everything that can make your dance experience better.